Hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for being on today. Oh my gosh, I love our topic. And can I just tell you that I really appreciate so many comments from the last three that we had on Let's Talk Men. And then last week I did a remote call from my car on the five languages of love, which I got to tell you, of all the things that I've learned about on how to be able to be a recipient of love and also to give the kind of love that people want to and can receive. The five languages was probably one of the most powerful things that I've ever learned. So I was really happy to share that with you. Hi, Becky. It's good to have you on. Oh, it's really great to have you on. So I want to do a shout out to also my good friend that I met yesterday after 25 years. Ran into her at a very special ceremony for my good friend Joni Schaefer. That's Lindsay Bailey's mom who passed away. And I saw Paula. So Paula, she's been listening to this. So thank you. Thanks for being on. And it was great to see you yesterday. I hope you're on today too. Sue, gosh, it's great to have you on. Thank you. Good afternoon. And thank you. You always look gorgeous. I love seeing you on Facebook. So thanks for joining us. This is a powerful subject, you guys. We are having a subject that is kind of near and dear to my heart, and it might be near and dear to your heart as well. So we're going to just jump into this because it's probably going to be, I can guarantee you, at least two parts. So let's do it. Now you can comment on a couple of things. Please do, because I want you to make sure that the questions I've asked you, that you are liberated and you can actually comment on them. So please do. So here we go, you guys. Is it your job to make sure that everyone's needs are met, are being met, and everyone is having a good time and they're feeling good, they're loved and included? If they are not, then do you think that it's your job to fix it? Are you a fix it kind of girl? Do you like to fix things, or maybe do you just feel it's your job to fix things? Are you struggling with people pleasing? So I'm going to ask you a question here, and I'd really like your response on this, and I'll look to see what you've read, and everybody else can comment it as well too. So what is really the difference between a kind, good person and being a people pleaser? Please comment in your thoughts. Please type this out, okay? So let me ask you this question again. What is the difference between being a kind, good, wonderful person and also being a people pleaser? Can you still be a very kind, very good person and not be a people pleaser, or at least less of one? Is that possible? Okay, I want to tell you, before studying people pleasers, I thought it wasn't possible. I thought to be good and kind and gracious with people that I pretty much had to be a people pleaser at least 50% of the time. So could it be that being a people pleaser is really not good for us? And it's really not good for our relationships. Could that be? This is a very needed topic. So here we go. Here we go. I'm going to look at your comments in just a second. Let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I am Suzanne Brothers Varley, and I host the Rich Girl Live Facebook private page broadcast every Monday. Rich Girl started out with just a few wonderful souls who clicked onto my brain every Monday for 15 minutes. And it has grown now to over 700 members. And I'd like to goal this to 1,000. I mean, if we can get to 700, we can get to 1,000, right? But I got to tell you, I never expected this kind of growth. But yet I got to say too, I'm super happy with you. I'm super happy with us that we have taken these topics and made a space and time and a splash in time for all of us. So please, please, please let your peeps know that this broadcast happens every single week. And I want you also to know that because of my background in business, I'm going to lean a little bit every once in a while to business, but I don't think you're going to mind about that. Okay, I hope these experiences are going to take you in new walks of your life and give you a lot of insight on how to even have the best, most perfect life. Okay, I'm going to look at your comments. Jody, hi. Welcome, Aquila. Denise, you're on. And Kay, absolutely. Kay says, absolutely not. Okay, you crack me up every time. So Denise, thank you for being on as well. And Becky is saying that people pleasers tend to enable others. Good, kind persons know the difference. You know, that comes from a lot of wisdom, Becky. Thank you so much. And Kay is saying the difference to me is is where it comes from. Kind and loving comes from genuine desire to serve and love people. You know, that's so true, Kay. And people pleasing comes from a place of insecurity and the need for approval. Bang, right on. Yes, and Renee's on. Jody is on. Thank you. Renee is saying people pleasers for sure, but it really depends on how much I love and care about the people. You know, exactly right on. Thank you. And you guys, you are so right on with this. Okay, now I want to pull you back in a little bit because I know we have a lot to cover, but I still want to see your comments. I'm going to take a lot of what we're talking about today from therapist Julia Christina. Some of the things that I'm thinking about, I've just been researching some things that she has on. So go to her YouTube. It's very, very good. So here's the thing. If you have struggled with people pleasing, then you oftentimes will feel powerless in your life. You may feel that your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions, your ideas of who you are doesn't really matter. It's going to always be about someone else. And this comes from the need to be needed. This comes from the need to be liked. Most of us, I gotta say most of us, we want to be liked. Isn't that just really universal? Of course it is. We want to be liked. But the difference between a kind, compassionate, and caring person is that it is very good quality to have unless it's derailed by this need to be liked above all else. You must be liked above all else. So sometimes we will push down who we are, we'll push down what we want, and we will actually pretend to be someone else. And that numbs our preferences. It really is a numbing situation. It's not buffering all the time, but it's definitely numbing. Then we start this needing to be that person that I think that you want me to be in order for you to like me. Did you get that? Okay. This numbing preference is when we start to be needing to be that person that I think you want me to be in order for you to like me. Is it people pleasing? Yes, but it's also people misleading. So write in the comment section right now, who do you really want to be liked by? And sometimes do you feel like you're people pleasing? And if so, maybe write a little bit about how that is. This is such an excellent topic, and I want to move on this. I want us all to move on this. Is it something to be proud of? That it's okay to make others around you feel okay, and that all that stuff that we people pleasers do? That's a good question, isn't it? But what we are really doing, and many times, is misleading others into believing that we really are something that we are not, or we have an opinion that we really don't have because we are needing them to like us. So are we pretending to be someone that we're not? Are we pretending to be someone else? So note to self on this. Let's do a note to self that this is misleading because it's not real and it's not authentic. It's actually not truthful. So I know that you want to chew on that for a minute, right? Like, wow, maybe this is a boom kind of like realization. So it's pushing, what is happening here is it's pushing your real self aside and it's ignoring your own realness. While everyone else around you is okay, or are they okay? Okay. You may find that this type of feelings, this type of being is actually making us feel disconnected and really actually lonely. It will actually make us feel lonely and disconnected. So how could that be? You are the go-to person. You're the one who fixes things. You are the one that makes everybody feel better, right? You are the one who makes everyone good and all the problems disappear. You are that one. But you feel disconnected because others do not see you for who you really are. And that's because we're not showing them who we really are. It's kind of tricky, isn't it? It's tricky, yes. And it's a trick to them as well. We're tricking them. It's made up. It's our fake version of ourselves, yet we think it's what other people want of us. You guys, this is totally a great subject, right? Because it can be misleading. All of this people pleasing can be very misleading and causes us to feel that disconnection, feel that loneliness. So you guys, seriously, how do we turn this around? How do we become self-reformed? Oh, I see you guys are commenting. Robin, you've got a great comment here. Ooh, read Robin's comment. That's excellent. I wish I could multitask more. I'm going to come back to you, girl. Okay. So let's give it an example here. Let's go to an example. So you are thinking that you have to say yes and that you cannot say no. Okay. You can't stand up for yourself. You can't say no. So you overcommit, you overwork, you feel underappreciated. Maybe you even feel resentful about not getting maybe the help or not feeling the sense of gratitude from other people that you were sacrificing so much for. So here's a suggestion, and you're going to notice that I give this suggestion a couple of times. How about this, you guys? Get curious. Okay, just get curious. Ask yourself where this is coming from. Why am I feeling this way? Ask yourself the question, why do I think that their wants and needs are way above mine and that my needs don't matter? Why do I think that way? Okay, you guys, seriously, sometimes I know we go back to the way we were raised. Okay, I really hate to blame things always on that, but there is a lot of valid feelings about the way we were raised and what attention we had to give to others, and if we had to earn our attention, and did we get what we wanted and needed? Was the way we were raised, was the love that we got, was it conditional? And how did we meet our own needs? Was the love unstable in our home? Was it always shifting? Did you ever feel a peace about just where you were in your family? Or was that shift constantly making you the peacekeeper always in your family? If so, okay, my friends, if so, you're most likely really well versed in being a people pleaser. Yes, well versed. Okay, so now I'm an adult. Boo, 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 I'm an adult, and I get to take a little more responsibility. I'm an adult, and I get to give and give and take relationships. It's not all me giving all the time. So one-sided relationships, there is a pleaser, and they are doing most of the heavy lifting in a relationship. Is that you? I think we've all been there at some time, right? It may be time now to have a bigger conversation with others in your life whom you are people pleasing with. You can count just as much as anybody else. Okay, I want you to say that out loud. I count just as much as anyone else. Okay, did you say it? I don't think you did. Okay, say it right now, loud. I count as much as anyone else. Maybe you need to do it the third time. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I count as much as anybody else. You see, I really believe that we need to build from the inside out. We are hardwired for connection. We are not meant to do life alone, and we were not meant to present this false image to the world. It's a sad place to be. The relationship with ourselves starts from the inside out, starts with a better relationship of honoring ourselves. If you are disrespecting you and putting you aside all the time, you can't have a good relationship with yourself. And I might add that it affects your spiritual relationship with your Father in heaven as well. So let's do this. Let's all commit to having a better relationship with ourselves. Okay, pinky promise, pinky promise. We commit to having a better relationship with ourselves. So how can you be better at this? How can you see how to treat yourself better? Well, there's a couple of cues that I want to tell you about how to treat us. How would it be to honor ourselves more? How would it sound to honor yourself more? So when asked to do something that you do not want to do, instead look at self-respecting. Self-respecting. So what does that sound like? Okay, now you guys, I know you might say, what? But I want to tell you what a dialogue would sound like, because until I heard this dialogue, I really didn't know how to tell anybody no. So what would I do? I would avoid. I wouldn't get back to people in time. I figured that if I just let enough time go by, that they'd forget that they ever asked me to do something. Okay, you guys know all the tools, right? But I really feel that to gain more self-respect, we need to have a dialogue about how to say no when we really do mean no. I also believe in putting a lot of sticky notes around your house to remembering your priorities. And this is actually going to be more talked about on part 2 of people pleasing. But I put sticky notes around my house all the time, and then I take them off. Sometimes I only put them up for a day, just to remind myself. This one says, say no when I want to. This one says, Eat when I'm hungry, yeah, which also means don't eat when you're not hungry. Okay, just want you to know, just try to be positive about that, right? So put sticky notes somewhere in the back there. One of the ones I want to put on my nose right now is do not overschedule. Okay, that's what I want to put right there. Have to remind myself. Okay, I'm diverting a little bit, but let's go back to what it sounds like to say no. Okay, so let's just say that I'm talking to Janice and she's asked me to do something, or a friend or a relative or even a family member. And this is what I would say. I would love to say yes to you, Janice, because I value our friendship and I want you to like me. I need to honor my truth for myself and say no. I really do not want to do that. I hope that you will like me even more for being truthful with you. Okay, you guys, there it is. Okay, I hope you got it. So, pretty much what it is again is I said, I would love to say yes to you, husband, child, sister in law, whatever, because I value our relationship, or I value our friendship, or I value you in my life. And I want you to like me. But I need to honor, oh, leave that but part out, okay? I need to honor my truth for myself and say no. I really do not want to do that. I hope you will like me. I hope you will love me still. And even know that I was honest and truthful with you for telling you this. Okay, you guys, hope you got that. All right, here we go. Thank you, Jeanette, for saying amen. I love amens. The world, you guys, is not going to be crumbling down if someone is disappointed for us saying our truth. Did you hear what I said? The world is not going to have a come apart because you said your truth. You still have a relationship with yourself. And in fact, honoring yourself goes way up. Your self-esteem goes up. You might feel like a tinge of guilt, but that tinge of guilt will dissipate because you honored yourself. Now, there are 5 ways to really help this transformation. Being a people pleaser is really not serving anyone. And you know, deep down, if you are being a people pleaser or even grazing the surface of this, right? You know it. You know it. So we're going to be talking about 5 ways, and I'll just give you a little heads up, and we'll go dive into those a little bit deeper next week. I'll give you a little taste of what they are. Brenda, thank you for coming on. Renee, thanks again for your words, and Debbie. Yeah, Debbie, I love what you said there as well. I love all your comments, and for all of you who are on and not commenting, just thank you for being on. I love using this format because I have the honest need to make a contribution to other people's lives. And I feel that my vast experience in life and business has probably given me a few things. So thank you for listening on. We're also on YouTube, Suzanne Brothers, a Rich Girl, and you will see all of our recordings on there. Please feel free to pass them on to friends, family. If you're in business, please feel free to use them as well. Okay, I told you I'd just give you the 5 really quick. So the first one we're going to talk about next Monday, is going to be get clear about your top priorities. Number 2 is a great one, and it says, let me get back to you. And number 3 is you got to start with safe people. So when you start honoring yourself and not being a people pleaser, you can't do it with every single person. I've tried that. That doesn't work, but start with safe people. We'll write about that and talk about that next week. And don't do this alone. Have friends that you're doing this with. And then lastly, be patient with yourself in this process. Okay, you guys, we've had 15 minutes of being together. I love this time together. Thank you so very much. And thank you all for commenting. Kara says some great things on here too. My daughter, Kara, I'm so proud of her. Thank you all again. I love you so much, and it's great to be with you on another Monday. Have an amazing week, you guys, and let's work on being a people pleaser. Actually, let's work on not being a people pleaser. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.